Hello, my name is Nikisha, and I'm here to discuss our group project on animals for class EDU 259. We got together and collaborated and brainstormed several ideas, and we decided to discuss the sea animals, the zoo animals, the farm animals, and reptiles for our lesson plans. The lesson plans were designed to be inclusive and intentional for the children's learning. They were also designed to focus on the developmental domains for the children. The plans are also inclusive for children with disabilities. They have adaptations, they include involving families, interactive play, and making the lessons fun for all children. For the first week, for weekly plan 4, I did an activity for fish bubbles. For this activity, the goal was to understand quantities, connecting numbers to the quantities. So basically, the children would get together at the table and create an art. The numbers we used were from 1 to 10. They would use finger paint to to paint bubbles onto their fish, and once they put the number of bubbles that they wanted on their fish not to exceed the number 10, then they would find that number and connect it to the bubbles. Um, for this activity, for disabilities, I thought it would be good to have family members to come in and assist or volunteer in the classroom to help with those children or their children who might have dual language learning, or just need one-on-one assistance to complete the lesson. Also, this lesson was had an objective to just make those connections from the numbers to the amount. Um, and to transition this, we would just before get together, talk with each child, making sure that they understood how many bubbles they had, if they had the right number connected to the bubbles, and if the activity was successful. And then the child would be able to choose a center and move on to another activity. Um, each plan that I did do would be at the end to evaluate, take notes, add or take away, and make the necessary changes to make it better or to see if it was successful. Next, I did zoo animals. So for zoo animals, we were gonna create a book of your favorite zoo animals, and get together, put all our pages together to make one class book, and be able to put that book out in the center, go back, read it later to connect those activities. Those activities were to understand the communication that you were given and being able to follow 2 or more steps and focus. Also, for those adaptations for the children would be the same thing. Like if they needed any kind of one-on-one connections, then we would do that. Be able to zone the room, come back and help, make sure everybody was understanding what they were doing. You could paint a picture. You could. Color a picture, or you could even cut your favorite zoo animal out of the magazine. And then for that, we would get together and discuss your animal. How did you know that this was a zoo animal? Just ask some questions about the animals. Get those books together and let the children be active or interactive and help read the new class book based on zoo animals. So for week 3 on the lesson plan 4, I did an animal sorting, a farm animal sorting activity, and the goal for that was attentiveness and to be attentiveness and to focus. The indicator for that would be to be able to focus while ignoring any kind of distractions. Basically, you just for the kids to be able to stay on task. Um, for their activity, the kids were going to sort. It was two sections: farm animals in one section, non-farm animals in the other section. There again, the kids can be asked, how did you know that this was a farm animal? How do we know what animals live on the farm? Those kind of questions could be asked to see, um, if they were able to make those connections even before the activity got started. And to transition, um, what did you learn? What did you learn? How did you know that to connect this to that this was a farm animal, this was not a farm animal? What was the differences? And for disabilities, I thought it would be kind of cool to maybe have those children, if they had a problem with fine motor skills or anything like that, to be able to use actual plastic small animals that they could actually grip better. Maybe if they couldn't glue or paste animals down to put on the each side of the paper. So that was one adaptation that I added. And for the last and final plan for the fourth week was a reptile matching game. The goal of this was phonological awareness. Being able to hear those beginning sounds of the words and connect them to the reptile, like crocodile. So we will focus on the crocodile. What sounds do we hear? Do we recognize those alphabets to know that that's a C and R and it's connected to the crocodile? So, and then therefore, the activities were laid out for the children to be able to draw a line from the crocodile to the picture of a crocodile, or vice versa. And just for disabilities, I thought to help them or help anyone who needed help with learning the sounds, it would be good to play music that where you could make those sounds and interact, have interactive books where we could discuss those sounds, and also to involve parents again, maybe for language learners that needed some extra help or needed to hear things in their home language as well. And for that, we could get together. I thought it would be fun to get on the smart board and have that image already posted and work together as a class, naming those reptiles, sounding out those letters together, and having the child to actually come up and draw that line from that crocodile to the from the word to the image, or the image to the word. And then, like I said before, too, even with transitions, to basically pick a friend or something smooth and move along to a new activity. And for evaluations would be the same way as if I would do it on all four lesson plans, would be to take notes, make changes anywhere that I saw that was needed, maybe adding to the plan, making it further for the next game activity, as long as the kids were able to understand the activity that we already had done. So these are the activities and these are the lessons that we did for this group project, talking about animals. There's a lot of fun ways we can learn with animals. There's a lot of inclusiveness that can come with learning from these activities. Families can be involved, and ultimately those kids can get what they need from those developmental domains, which is very, very important. And thank you for the opportunity for working on this project.